Hey two-wheeled friends, welcome back to the channel. You put in the sequence of these videos together of when I recorded them. Kind of doing like a bulk recording. I'm gonna let them kind of get a head start because I'm gonna go slow on this wet oil. Wet-ish. Because I can hear it coming up under the fenders. Definitely needing to kind of use some throttle control to not go too fast, because let that clutch out and she chugs and wants to go faster. But yeah, look at that, like big old pools of oil. Come over here. So I think that's what today's topic's going to be, is a little bit about if you are out riding and you come across situations like this, what do you do? Let's roll the intro. This is the speed the bike wants to go on its own. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of going. I imagine over time this thing would just chug. I mean, it's working on it a little, but all right, now I'm going to take care of these tires a little bit. Try to wear some of this oil off and the rest of the rocks. But yeah, what do you do? Like, if that were a road and I come across it, I guess I would just keep going, because what do you really do? I mean, you could stop and turn around and go the other way. Sometimes it's, so what they'll do is they'll put oil down and then they'll put the rock down over the top of it, so then it's just like loose pea rock. But this, they put the rock down and then they oiled over top of it to kind of act as a seal, so it's not loose rock, but it's all that oil. And listen, there's still rocks coming up underneath, or it's catching rocks because I still got oil on my tires. If I would have known, I probably would have parked over at that school and then went. But and Mrs.TWOWHEELD and I, we've been out riding before and we've come across roads, you know, we were like 30-40 miles from home or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter how far, but all of a sudden you come up on that loose rock and it's like, well, I guess we're gonna go on. And it's like riding on a gravel road. Do you guys ride on gravel roads? I choose not to with this bike. My 2007 Road King that I had, I've ridden on gravel roads with that. That's got like a little higher, I don't know, what do you call it, a higher sidewall on the tire, to where I felt a bit more comfortable riding on gravel because the tire has a little bit more space. And my audio is going to change a little because I'm opening face shield, but the tire's got a little bit more space between the rim and the road, so that cushion definitely makes a difference and gives me a little more confidence. These low profile tires, I know would be fine on a gravel road, but it just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just too nice a bike. And not that my 2007 wasn't nice enough, but I think that's part of it too. A little scooter, but I'll wave to you. That's kind of cool, actually, the scooter guy. Maybe he's got a motorcycle at home. He's probably got like a big old Harley, big old Indian motorcycle, big old Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. He's on twos. So I guess gravel doesn't necessarily scare me. You just kind of got to go at the pace that you're comfortable with, and you know, whatever, yeah, basically your experience level. Like, I kind of know what it's like to have the back end get a little squirrely on me, because I've intentionally done it before in parking lots. You just kind of rip that throttle and kick the back end out a little. I think a lot of it is just to keep the bike cleaner, and then not only the cleanliness, but rock chips. And yeah, a motorcycle is meant to be ridden, but I don't really want it all beat up either. I take pride in what I own, but you wouldn't know it because of how dirty this thing is. And what's kind of funny is Mrs.TWOWHEELD Snapchatted me a picture of the parking lot before I went there and said, be careful on this. And I thought she was sending me a picture of loose rock, the way the lighting hit it, and I thought, oh, that ain't no big deal, I'll ride on that. And then I get there and that parking lot's black, and it's like, and then I look at her Jeep and the fender wells, and I can see like black oil, and I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, is that gonna wash out? And then I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have to do it. But what's kind of interesting is like this road, they do not do that on state highways. They do not put that rock down. They put concrete and then they just leave it. They don't redo it. I don't know. Not that I know of. Not in town anyways, that I can ever recall. This stretch of highway was redone, oh, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I think they tore this up and redid it. I think they just pretty much redo the road when it needs it. And I did a video a couple of years back about riding on gravel, and that was with the Honda Shadow, giving some tips and all that, but really haven't talked about riding on gravel a whole lot. Really, I'm just out here probably talking to myself because you guys probably could care less about what kind of roads I'm riding on. But I mostly wanted to come by here, check out a new sign that we installed at our business. Now that the lights are on, it shows up pretty decent. Yeah, beautiful fall day. It's probably, I bet it's probably about 55 degrees out right now. I'm not complaining one bit. Mentioned it before, but I'm kind of glad that I've put this windshield on to keep the wind off my chest. That makes all the difference. Whether you're riding on gravel or a hard road, probably wouldn't be riding this fast on gravel. I don't like that these days are getting shorter. Makes it a little harder to get out to make videos. And I know I could make some videos with it dark or almost dark or kind of like it is right now. But I just don't like the days getting shorter. There's just as much darkness as there is light right now. Or, well, I guess you could say the sunset, I don't know, sunset's at like 7:20 and sunrise is at 7:20, something like that. Pretty close anyways. I guess there's a little bit more daylight than there is darkness with that. But I don't care as long as I can still ride. Not a huge fan of riding in the fall time with it getting dark, just because the wildlife seems to be running, and especially the deer. But I do like the beautiful sunset. So let's have a little discussion down below. Some of you might live on gravel roads and have to ride on gravel a mile, 2 miles, maybe it's only a block. What kind of tips can you leave a new rider? Leave your comment. I don't know, that might have came out kind of weird. Leave your comment down below for somebody who comes along. It might be a year or 2 or 3 or 4 before somebody comes along, but at least they will see your comment as a little bit of a pointer for them. I guess my number one tip is, if you come across it and you can see it because it's daylight, just slow down, get comfortable on it, kind of study the road surface ahead of you, know what it's like, and just take it at a pace you're comfortable with. It's better to go slow or slower than you may need to and arrive alive than it does pushing the limits and the bike getting all squirrely on you. That'd be my tip. If it's something you ride every day, obviously that's going to be a lot better, because then you will understand what the road does ahead if it's got washboarding at all, that gets to be a little tricky, because then the bike's coming out from under you a lot more. But leave me that comment down below if you are new to the channel and like watching motorcycle related content. Come back, watch Mrs.TWOWHEELD and I. And be sure when you subscribe that you ring the bell so you're notified for future uploads and activities. Give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, two-wheeled friends, peace out. And we will see you later. Bye-bye. Guys are working late. It's like 7:30 at night. 7. Let's see. Let's just see what time it is. Yep, 7:22. I bet they have a deadline to meet. Yeah, before the snowballs fly. That's probably the deadline. Oh, I do not want to go home. My legs are cold, but I do not want to go home. I just love riding a motorcycle. And I'd be going a little faster, but we got a person here that is too obedient. Anyways, I appreciate you all being here. We'll catch you next time.